What's up everybody, Sam here. I realize I'm already doing a video every day this month, but I want to keep the normal life in Germany videos going because I still have my goal of 100 videos to reach. And that is not going to be some easy peasy lemon squeezy task. I have to consistently be uploading a video every week. Actually, I'll have to do more than one. I'll have to do 2 videos a week for a number of weeks to reach my goal. But sorry for disappearing off the face of the earth for a couple weeks. For a lot of you, I was gone for 3 weeks. But for some of you, only 2. Because this is episode 54, and you might be wondering where episode 53 is. And I did make one. It was live on the internet for a total of 24 hours. And then I made it private because it had some illegal activity in it. I'm on a highway to hell! But if you didn't see it, don't worry. I'll probably make it public again in a year or so. I don't know. So for today, I just want to talk a little bit about cultural differences. And these are minor cultural differences. These aren't huge. Okay? There's nothing good or bad about any of these in my opinion. They're just things you need to know if you're going to be in Germany. There will probably be a sequel to this video before too long with even more cultural differences. But today I'm just going to bring you 4 or so. And the first one is that Germans, when speaking to you, will stand really close. Like, I'm serious, right here is acceptable. Now, personally, when I am speaking with a German and they're standing that close to me, I don't find it awkward. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because I know they don't find it awkward. And then because I know they're comfortable, I'm comfortable too, I don't know. But that's something you need to be prepared for, and don't let that take you by surprise when it happens. Having a face-to-face conversation this far away from someone is completely cool. Oh, and they'll also stand really close when they're if you're standing in a line, okay? Stand right up against the back of the other person. And the person behind you will stand right up against your back. Otherwise, someone will cut in line. In the States, we have these personal bubbles that must not be infringed upon, and they just really don't exist here. So get used to it. Next up is that Germans are not quite as fond of small talk as we are, we Americans. I mean, the first example we have of this in the States is just when we greet people. We say, hey, how you doing? And they say, hey, I'm doing fine, how about you? And then you say, I'm doing great. And that's that. Now, of course, if someone does actually have something bad going on in their lives, like their dog just died, and you ask them how they're doing, and they say, I've been way better. And you say, oh man, what's going on? And then that warrants a longer conversation. But for the most part in the States, when we ask someone how they're doing, a few words is all we expect back. That is not the case here. That is one of our best examples of just small talk, and they have none of it. If you ask a German how he or she is doing, you can expect a full report and analysis. Now, I believe this might be starting to move out, I'm not sure, but while the line between our cultures, as far as that difference goes, may be getting thinner, it's still something you need to be prepared for. Just keep in mind that in Germany, if you ask someone how they're doing, they will probably tell you exactly how they're doing in full detail. Now, when you do ditch the small talk and you're going to get into more deeper conversations about anything, there are a couple topics you might want to avoid. Number 1 is politics. It's just not something you want to discuss with anybody you don't know very well. But on top of that, as an American, if you could be remotely considered conservative, you're gonna have a hard time. So if you've got the political spectrum, on the extremely most possibly radical conservative end, you've got anarchism, and then on the most extremely radical liberal end, you have communism. The spectrum in the States is like here, whereas the spectrum in Germany is like here. Even the most conservative politicians and people in Germany seem fairly liberal on the American spectrum. Just pointing that out because it's a good piece of information to know. Now, speaking of politics, I have been asked several times to offer my opinion on Snowden and the NSA scandal. And the thing is, I don't really know what there is for me to say. Do I think that they were wrong to spy on Germany, our ally and our host nation, for like all of our overseas stuff? Heck yeah, it's just stupid, but I'm also a little bit tired of the heat we're getting for doing it. Because, I mean, from my perspective, it seems like the newspapers are just saying every week, they say the Americans are spying on us. The only people responsible for what they were doing are a few powerful politicians and a handful of people from the NSA. Do I think what they were doing is wrong? Yes, I absolutely do. With the corrupt wreck our government is in right now, I don't even know why I'm surprised anymore by anything. Okay, rant over. We were talking about things you don't talk about with Germans, and the next one up is religion. You can be very good friends with a German for a long time, and chances are they still will not want to open up about anything religious. I think that's something we take for granted, that we discuss things like that so openly in the United States. Whereas here, it is a private matter, and by private, they mean private. You don't even share it with your friends, really. So chances are you don't want to talk about politics, you really don't want to talk about religion, but what you do not talk about under any circumstances is money. You never talk about your salary, and you never talk about anybody else's salary, and you don't talk about how much that cost you or that cost you. You just do not talk about these things. I received an email about this a while back where the person emailing me was just explaining how when complimenting a German, in their house, let's just say you're in their house, when complimenting a German, you don't compliment them on things that involved monetary gain. So instead of complimenting their dining room table that they might have spent a lot of money on, you could compliment the color of their walls, which was just a choice they made as opposed to a large sum of money expelled. Do you read me? Get what I'm saying? But yeah, they do not like discussing money. And of course in the States, it's still impolite just to ask someone how much something cost them. But if you're close friends with a person and you say, hey, if you don't mind me asking how much did that cost, it's cool. You can do that in the States, and you just do not do that in Germany. And last but not least, don't go striking up conversations with strangers. Now this one, especially if you come from the South like me, probably will take a little bit more getting used to, because down there we can pretty much just break out in conversation with anyone we see. In the checkout line at Walmart, or when you're walking around town, just opening a conversation with a total stranger is acceptable. You can make new friends all the time that way, but not so much here. Like in the States, even though it's less noticeable here, in the south of Germany, people might be a little bit more open to having a conversation with a stranger. A couple days ago when I was taking this picture, I think 3 or 4 people stopped and we had a little conversation with them, just telling them what I was doing. I had to explain my concept behind the picture and how I was gonna shoot it. So I think down here, I live in Stuttgart by the way, I think down here people are a little bit more open to just chatting with people they don't know. But with that, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Hope nobody was offended by anything I said. Yeah, maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut about Snowden. But I think you guys caught my drift. I think you did. Basically, yes, I completely agree with all Germans that what our government was doing was wrong. But I also want Germany to realize and really see that your average American citizen had absolutely nothing to do with it. And those of us over here in Germany are not little minion spies. So I hope that much is clear. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you found these tips helpful. Like I said, I'll probably make another one of these in the future, so keep your eyes out for that. Guys, I want to make another cooking video, and I can't do Maltaschen. I need something, maybe cheesecake. I need something not too ridiculously difficult, but more difficult than just heating it up in the microwave, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, leave some ideas down below. I'd love to see them. All right, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you next week, or I'll be catching you all week with the daily videos, but then I'll catch you again next week with another life in Germany. All right, bye guys, Sam out.